Hey, what's up, y'all? Welcome back to your Divine Glow podcast. Today we have another guest in the studio today. We are just having guests on guests on guests, and it makes me so happy. So I want to introduce my very own guest here. I actually was a guest on his podcast, so I'm so happy that he's here. My guest is a singer, songwriter, actor, dancer, and entertainer. He started in the early 90s when he started writing music and doing demo tapes, but in the early 2000s is where his music career took off as he started performing around cities. He stretches himself across a mix of genres such as R&B, hip hop, gospel, pop, and dancehall. His recent venture is his podcast called the Loveman's Radio Podcast, where he lets people have a place to speak freely and tell their stories of life. I would like to introduce our guest, Sean Curry. Welcome to the show.
Thank you, Ashley. Thank you for that wonderful introduction. That was
Oh,
just
you're
amazing.
welcome.
This feels so great to be here. Congratulations on just an amazing platform. I've been, since you started out your amazing platform, your Divine Glows podcast. Every episode has
Thank
been
you.
amazing. Your guests is
Thank you.
amazing. And I just want to congratulate you on an amazing platform.
Yeah, thank you so much. Like,
Yeah,
I couldn't really do it without the guests. I mean, y'all are really the star when y'all come on. So
right.
I am very thankful for you guys. But it's your turn.
Yeah,
So
right.
let's see what we got going on.
Yes.
I know that I believe I was on your podcast. I don't know why it feels like many moons ago. It wasn't that long ago.
It's crazy. I was thinking about that today. I'm like, well, I know we did a great episode. Was it? I believe it was, if I'm not mistaken, maybe June, July. It was summer, but it just,
Yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
I was like, time just
Time is
flies.
flying.
Yeah,
Yes. But I'm happy that you took some time out today and we could meet up again in
absolutely.
my secret space here. So
Yes,
I definitely want to start off this conversation just as I do with every guest, like from the beginning, of your story, of your journey. And I know we talked a little bit about before, like the spiritual journey that we both
right,
been on. So just
right.
continuing that conversation. But before we do that, I just want to talk about your different personas because
Yes,
see, when I met you, right,
right,
I just knew the love man. I didn't know what the love man was, and but then
right.
dove a little bit deeper, and I'm like, all right, Bad Sean, who's Bad Sean? I still don't know who Bad Sean is. So I'm just trying to figure out, like, okay, who are all these personas, and like, can you start off with like the first one leading up to the current one?
Sure, sure, sure. So I want to say the first one was really just me, and I call that one SC, right? Sean Curry.
Oh, okay.
Just original Sean, you got me, this is me, this is what I do, and he's the
Hmm.
cool guy, he comes out, he does a little hip hop, he does a little R&B, and he kind of just
Gotcha.
tells you, what's going on in today's music, and he wants to, do all these remixes with other artists, and he always looks for a lot of entertainment, and he looks to entertain you as well, and he gives the people
Hmm.
what they want, but that character was really the way how music has changed over the last decades, right? That SE character would not really change the way how it was changing. So I had to then create two other personas that I knew on how we were changing in our times, and
Gotcha.
so in 2000, when my really journey really took off with just writing music, I kind of developed the Love Man's era, right? And the Love Man is a guy and a person where you can just fall in love with, right? You can fall in love when you just hear that sweet music. You can fall in love with just
Yeah.
anything that he does, in the beginning, and my wife knows, there's, it's an open book, and I love her dearly. I met her in that era where the Love Man was somewhat of like a playboy, right? And
Gotcha.
and he's one of those guys where he takes the girls' hearts, and
Mm,
but I had to kind of definitely tone it down. When I met my now wife, which I love dearly.
right.
The love man is still around, but not to that extent where he's a playboy, right?
Got
He's
you.
right. He's he's
Yeah.
around where he's now where he's just blessing people with with what he has in his heart. He's blessing
Mm,
people. That's when which we'll get into later, which is the Love Man's Radio Show podcast. um,
yeah.
he wants to just talk to his fans. He wants to still perform. He still will perform the beautiful love songs, and like I said, on the new journey, which is the podcast. And then you have the Bad Sean. Now the Bad Sean
Yeah.
is definitely in today's era, right? And the Bad Sean is the
Mm,
character that actually changed all decades around and still around, right? Now the Bad
mm,
Sean, that type of era is in the dance hall era, the reggae, the smooth jams and the creativity, right? And
mm.
when you come to a Bad Sean show, you pretty much get all three of them in one.
Oh, wow. Okay.
And you get one of the best shows possible that you can ever imagine. And I thank God that he
Yeah.
allowed me to create such three personas, which I didn't even know I had in me. And he just
Mm,
talked to me and he says, "Listen, do it. I see this in you. I know you have this in
yeah.
you. I'm going to bless you with
Yeah.
this." And I just kept doing it. I kept writing the different scenarios in my personalities in the music, Bashorn, Essie, and the Love
Mm,
Man. And where
yeah.
Bashorn is now, he's here. He's still making those hits with those dancehall hits. He knows what the people wants. And
Yeah. Yeah.
it goes from just creating beautiful storytelling in my music. I have two incredible projects, which is called Mystery and Room 13. Room 13 is basically a documentary that basically told almost my whole life, right? And I
Mm.
created about 6 to 7 different characters, in that specific project. Um,
Wow.
and yeah,
Wait. Hold on. Let me bring this back because we got a
yeah,
lot of characters going on.
yeah,
Because hold on, before we even jump on that,
yeah.
I wanted to I wanted to ask you what is your favorite though? Your favorite out of the three?
I
Bash,
think
Sean, SC, and Loveman.
right. That's a great question. I want to say if I can say it, wow.
You better
Uh,
be careful.
yeah, I better
Like
be careful. I better be careful.
you
I
better
want to
be ready
say,
for that.
I would definitely say Bashorn only because of so much creativity of not just music,
Hmm.
but into acting. So I
Yes,
want to say Bashorn. My
got you.
second would be
Yeah.
The Love Man.
Yeah, I can see like because when you described that, Sean, it was like you even said it was like a combination of everything. Like
Mm-hmm.
it's that next level of like, oh wow, like I could and just me speaking and introducing you, I'm like, wow, like talk about multiple genres and multiple things. Like you are the epitome of multifaceted. Like
Thank you.
you were like, I'm going to try everything
Yes.
and I'm going to do everything. And who says I have to stay in one box? Like
Right.
I
Yeah.
love that. I love
Thank
that.
you. Thank you. Thank you.
It it was just to jump back to what you were saying about so did you say documentary?
Yes. Yes. Yes.
Okay, yes. Please tell us more about this documentary. You said seven characters.
7 characters. Yes. Yes. So one of them was Bashorn, which was, the main character. The other one was, a character that played, his girlfriend slash wife in the movie. And then, there was another character that was actually a mystery character where you didn't know exactly what this person was going to do. You didn't know the twists and turns as the documentary was going on. So,
Okay.
basically, Room 13, the documentary, is basically about two people where that's actually living, a secret life, right? And
Mm,
as they go into this room, it starts to unfold slowly but surely. and you could not even believe what happens, right? And
Mm.
the friends that you thought that were your friends, the family that you thought that was your family, definitely was not. And
Oh, wow.
yeah, it's really, it's actually one of my favorite and best projects that I ever did, because it's most of it is based on a true story, and it's very dear to me. Yeah, yeah. And
Yeah,
I had, go ahead, I'm
oh
sorry.
no, I'm sorry. I was gonna say, you wrote this?
Yes,
Did you
yes,
enact it? Not
yes.
acted, but
Yeah, so I wrote it and then
oh,
I went into the studio, and basically when you hear all the different voices, that's all me. So it's almost
oh
like
wow,
It's almost like a Tyler Perry type of play where he actually did the
got you.
Yeah, yeah.
That's dope. That's
Yeah,
dope.
yeah. I'm looking
So,
to somewhat take that to the stage one day.
yeah, that's awesome. How long did it take for you to complete this?
I want to say Room 13 took me about a year.
Yeah, I can see that.
Yeah.
That's I'm like, you have to be, you know, just your energy, right? Your energy
Yes.
levels have to be right. Like you have to get into the
Absolutely.
mindset of each person, I mean, character. So
Yes.
I can
Yes.
imagine.
Yes.
Yeah,
Yes.
that's
It was.
awesome.
Yeah,
I'm
thank you.
so like happy for you. I mean, we didn't just started the conversation, but I feel like this has it's just giving me a lot of thought around like just your growth, right? Because I'm sure stepping into all these spaces weren't it wasn't easy.
No, not at
So
all.
so like what like made you say like, hey, I'm just gonna go for it. I'm gonna go into all these spaces and just try it because I mean, I don't know if you just wake up one day and you just be like, "Yep, I just got the confidence," which I know we all don't do that.
No,
But it's
no.
just like, what was that pivotal moment for you to say, "Hey, I'm
Yeah,
just gonna go"?
yeah, I think, you know, when you look at just what goes on a daily basis, right? And we wake up every day, we thank God, we say our praise. Um,
Mm-hmm.
what's next? That's the next thing that I always ask myself. And I sometimes I tell God to give me a sign or just talk to me, let me know exactly what's next. I did this album,
Right.
what's next? What's going to be the next single? What do you want me to try next, or what do I have in me to try next? And when I get
Mm,
that inner being signal, my creativity just starts going wild. Sometimes I see like a
mm,
video before I even write the song, and I can just like hear a beat, and I said, okay, oh my God, this song just came to me. I gotta let me
yeah.
grab my book. So it's just crazy how my thoughts and moments just comes about. I'm
Yeah.
blessed to have them. But
Yeah.
when they happen, I'm blessed, and I just go for the moment, and I go for it, and I said, whatever the outcome is.
Um, I think to your point too is just like of the I guess yes, talking to God, right, and having Him lead, that's very important, and knowing those signals are very important.
Right.
I think because I'm thinking how I am, right? Like
Yeah.
I get those, but then it's like it's just me. I can't even say it's the enemy. It's just me. Sometimes I overthink, and I'm like, oh my god, what if this? What if that? And it's just like, girl, if you don't just go and do and like, why are
Right.
you sucking yourself out? Why
Right.
are you doing that? And you never know how like your potential, right? So there's so much that we have inside of us that we don't even know about. And it's so funny that we're talking about this because I came across the video I think it was like last week and
Hmm.
she was saying in the video she was like, like our iPhones, right? We use probably not even 50% of what the phone can do, whether it's
Correct.
iPhone, Android, whatever, and we're not using it to its fullest capacity. Whereas like ourselves, like we haven't unlocked certain things within us
Yeah.
that we know that we can do. And just to see you do it and to hear about it, it's like what? Like I don't and to think, right, like you may not even be 50% there to unlocking like all of Sean. Like
Right. Yeah,
that's
you're right. Absolutely
insane.
right.
Yeah, that's insane. But I just um I'm blown away, and it actually inspires me to, really to continue to unlock that part of myself too. So I'll definitely like keep that in mind of
Okay.
like just
Yeah, absolutely.
leading, right? Like that. And I think
Yes.
everybody should like, listening to this episode is like, yeah, remember that you only know yourself up until this point.
Correct.
There's so much more that you have to know about yourself and to see what you can do.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah. So I just want to pivot a little bit, just a little bit back to your music because
Yeah.
I personally have not heard your story about your music. Um, I only know you from your podcast world, and
Okay.
um, in the '90s, I'm a '93 baby, so at this point, I didn't even know. I
Right.
was probably just out the womb when you was making demo tapes. Okay,
Right.
so so fill us in on like that part of your journey and like what was your thought process, like your mindset, like during that time.
Yeah, it's crazy because I remember when I think it was like maybe seventh grade, right? It was, I was just having these like, crazy thoughts, every time I'm listening to a song. I said, I want that to be me. I want to be on the radio.
Mm,
I want to see my music downloaded. Um, So I said, let me start creating or something like a demo tape, of what of course, called them back in the day. And I
mhm.
said, I'm gonna go to the record store at that time, and I'm gonna get like a case of probably 24 tapes. I'm gonna make
Yeah.
copies of them, and I'm gonna write it, what the name of the album was, my name, side A, side B, hand them out to all my high
Hmm.
school friends. Let me know what you think. So it was a
Yeah.
risk I was taking because I was like, I wonder if I'm gonna sound good. I started doing these beats like, and I was like, I wonder if that
Mm,
sounds good. And then I just started to put some words to it. And again, it was the beginning. And then I started to get calls. Hey, Sean, I listened to that demo tape, man. I think you got something. I said, you sure? I said, because I'm just playing around. So at that time, I didn't even know that, I was just writing something down. And
right.
I remember, kids in school, they used to tease you or whatever. And I just was kind of just fed up around a certain time of my high school days. And I called
Mm.
the demo tape Hike Down. So I pretty much wrote some songs about some people that I just, was just not feeling at the
Oh
time.
Lord, I got
Yeah.
you.
And then,
A whole diss track.
yeah, man. But handing out demo tapes was definitely an experience for any artist, because you don't know exactly if it's going to give away to anything. So, but I
Right.
continued of something that I believed in, as I started to believe in, I should say. And I think my writing got better because I kind of dived into it a little bit more. And, as I was growing up, I saw different things, I felt different things.
Hmm.
And when I started to feel love, by different feelings, different relationships, that's when I think the writing got better. And then it just burst out
Mm.
into an actual, awesome experience.
Yeah, that I mean, that's what I learned from, people who do write songs or just poetry, like
Yeah,
that can turn into songs. Of course you talk about your experience and what you've been through, and that's where the most like I think the greatest songs actually like come to life, honestly,
absolutely.
because it's like your it's just your authenticity, your rawness, like just on the paper and then like being created into something very beautiful. So that is, and I'm glad that you actually like continue to practice on it, because a lot of the times I know people just like, I'm gonna give up. But like, what was that point, or what made you not want to give up?
I think, again, what made me not want to give up, when I started to even listen to different melodies of different sounds, I said,
Mm-hmm.
okay, music is actually really, really relaxing, really, and it was my way of comfortability and letting my all my emotions out as well. So I knew at
Mm-hmm.
that point it was actually for me, and I said, okay, I'm gonna rock with this.
Yeah. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. That's dope. I meant to ask you too, just a little bit about your your development across the timeline of, you know, I know we were talking about different eras, is what you said. So,
Hmm.
like in this era, um, would you say that you were very much connected on a like on more of a like a spirit? Like, how would you describe your spiritual journey at this point, or even your personal
Yeah,
development
absolutely.
journey?
Yeah, absolutely. I think the era where I'm at now, the genre of music that I'm doing now, I think I'm more connected than anything. And I
Hmm.
think when with the Basho and character, it's all in one. So I think all my spirituality just comes out in everything that I do. And some things that
Yeah.
I do, I'm like, my God, did I just do that? Did I just say that? Did I just perform that way? you
Yeah,
know
yeah,
so,
yeah,
so I think
yeah,
the time that we're in now is actually some of the best moments that I ever experienced. And being married to someone that loves your work, that loves what you do, it makes it even more special you know and I
yeah.
just get, yeah, yeah.
Yeah. She's like, I'm your number one fan.
That's
Like,
it.
she had there right in the front row.
Yeah.
That's love. That's love. I- Shout out to your wife.
Yeah, shout out to my wife.
Like,
Yes, yes,
yes,
thank you.
yeah, that's awesome. I mean, I know, just around that time too, like, were there any, were there any like challenges other than like, I know you mentioned like obviously your height, like some people you really weren't feeling at the time, but
Right.
besides that, were there anything else, like maybe internal challenges that you experienced?
Yeah, I think I want to say, a lot of songs sometimes that I write, and I think it goes for any artists, that you don't have that voice for that song, right? If that makes sense. And
Yeah,
you want to say, okay, this is such a beautiful song, but I don't think my voice is for it. And sometimes you say to yourself, how can you have loved any type of vocal lessons? You just actually went with the talent that you had in you. And to yourself, you sound amazing, right? But
hmm,
in the inner being, okay, that song is just not for you. So that was yeah. So those are some of the challenge. Even now I face. I try. Some songs I sing, but I know it's not for me. But I hold them.
yeah,
I hold them in my songbook, and I said, one day I'll probably meet that person with that voice that can probably sing that song. And it's probably be a hit,
yeah,
who knows. And there were
right,
times where I say, okay, should I just be a producer and not a singer? But then I said, okay, no, I feel as if I want more and I know I can do more. So that's when
mm,
I find myself again and says, okay, these are new songs that I wrote, and these are new songs that is for me. And
yeah,
then
yeah,
I look at my performances and I say, wow, I just want to continue it. I can't stop. So those
yeah,
are, I would say, yeah, those are, was those are some challenges that I can say for me.
yeah. I mean, it's the awareness, so like
Yeah.
that's the thing. It's like you could easily say, "No, this is my song. I
You-
wrote it. I sound great. I don't care what you say."
right,
But
right.
sometimes you just have to humble yourself and be like, you know what? This is just not it. It's not it.
Right.
I'm
It's
sorry.
not.
And you know, so that's the biggest, I think the biggest hurdle for, I feel like, for anybody, just to be honest with yourself, right? Just be like, you know
Yes.
what?
Yes.
I This is a beautiful song, but the thing about it is like you could definitely bless somebody else, other
Yes, absolutely.
upcoming artist, or you're not even upcoming, but just the artist period that is like, yep, you the one. the artist that's going to take it to the next level for you,
Yeah,
that, you know, even that opportunity there can take you to the next level, or, it could open the door for you in other places. So
absolutely. Yeah.
that's just, that's the beautiful thing about it. But yeah, that's awesome. I'm really like, I don't know, everything that you're telling me, I'm honestly just taking it in myself.
Hmm.
I'm interested in that because everybody has a different creative process. So
Correct.
for you, like, how do you get into your zone? Like, how do you get into the mode of like, hey, I wanna write a song or even like use a documentary? Like, what is that like for you?
So my creative process, I always love to be in basically just a nice room, quiet. If I am listening to music, it will be like a melody of something that I'm thinking about at that moment, to kind of
Mm,
bring me in more to the creative process of what I'm trying to write or create, I should say. Um, and it just takes off from there. Some most times that when I do my creativity or even writing, um it's the thought process is crazy because even for room 13, I just something said to me, listen, create this project because you want to tell, basically most of your life story. You want to create these characters because they are who you are, and you have
yeah,
the ability to do it. So I said, wow, okay. So I sat down and I started writing, and at first I didn't even know it was going to turn out so big. But then when I started record, the first couple of sessions of that project, I got something here, right? Um,
yeah,
and even so, just writing songs, sometimes I just want to write about love, right? And
mhm,
sometimes I know most times we all need to hear some type of and feel some type of love around the world with so much going on most of the times. We just want to just kind of just hear that music to, make us relax, right? Um,
right.
and that's what I really like, just go into my zone and start to just create this wonderful transition of either music, poetry, or even just documentaries.
Gotcha. Do you do like some type of like, do you pray before? Do you meditate? Like, or you just kind of just dive right in?
I i want to say I do meditate. I do meditate. It's funny because I take my song book and I open it up. It's a blank page, right?
Yeah,
and and I said, okay, I have the thought process in mind. I don't know exactly how it's going to look or how it's going to come out. And
yeah.
most of my songs, believe it or not, it comes out in basically like a freestyle. And
Uh,
I just kind of just put it put it in a form where it's an actual song, and some of the songs actually does come out as a song, but most of my
mhm.
just lyrics that I just want to just like, it's here. Can I write it? It's a
Yeah,
freestyle, and then I just form it all up into that one sum.
gotcha,
Yeah.
gotcha. Honestly, that takes a lot of talent. That takes
Thank
to
you.
me, to me, it takes a lot of talent because I'm like, I barely ever want to write an essay. So, like with that, and it's the thing is like, with the freestyle, I think that, and I don't want to get too heavy on it, but it's just like, um, just the fact of rhyming, right? Like when I think of a song, you gotta rhyme, and I'm just like,
Absolutely.
listen, like I guess that goes back into the let me rewrite and all that
Yes.
stuff. So yeah, it's just to me it's just like I love how people to hear about their process and how they get to that point of
Right.
producing that final product, because honestly for me I think if I were in your shoes I would probably just get into that zone, because some people they need quiet, some people they just like, no, I need to turn up.
Yeah,
and
yeah,
it, and it,
right,
and it
right.
yeah,
Yeah,
no, it all depends too on what you're creating,
absolutely.
because it sometimes I feel like for you to get those downloads, right? Remember we were talking about God just leading the way and giving you those nudges. It's like, for me at least, I know it's important for me to get into a quiet space and let God take the pen literally, or take me in a direction, like when I was doing photography. Like, okay,
Right.
God, where do you want me to go for this shoot, or where do you envision, because while yes, I have my own brain and stuff like that, like
Mm-hmm.
sometimes I'm like, God, I always call God my coworker. Like,
Yeah,
he right
absolutely.
here with me, and you know what I'm saying? We're building things together. It's never just me alone,
Right.
and I just find it so interesting that, like, sometimes we don't think about that. And
No,
not a lot of times, like, oh yeah, I don't have a team. You may not have a team physically, but know that he's there, and actually he's going to send people right there to you that's on,
absolutely.
help
Amen.
you with that whole process. So
Yes.
that is like the biggest thing I hear too, from like just like a creative standpoint.
Mm-hmm.
That could be very useful, like just in this realm of whatever it is, maybe songwriting or whatever it is that you do.
Right.
Because, like, and I know you know that. But just for the audience, just to take that in and really just understand that, you know, the I don't know. I feel like sometimes we could be so 3D, so to speak. And, when I talk on this platform, like, I don't know, I found myself, and this is a very transparent moment right here,
Yeah,
because I'm
no.
just I'm coming off this church conference, and I'm just like, listen,
Yes,
we just gonna lay
yes,
it out.
yes.
Because I've been very much like, um, I guess, like, trying to figure out how to say certain things on this platform. But it's just
Okay.
like, no, just say it.
Yeah,
Just say it.
yeah.
And
Be you.
because I as like, we always talk about God and on this
Yes.
platform and stuff like that, but I want to take it to another level where it's like I'm not playing it safe. Like, you know what I
Right.
mean?
Right.
Because the people that are meant to be here, they're gonna be here, and they're gonna listen. And then,
Absolutely.
so if they're not at a certain level where they can understand, then of course, by all means, please do your research. Please ask a question.
Absolutely.
I'm just here to educate, and the guests are here to educate. But I want people to know that, God is someone that you could look to for any and everything. Like, he
Amen.
loves you so much. I don't know
Yes.
who needed to hear that, or why I felt like I needed to say that, but someone
Yes.
listening probably just needed to hear that.
Absolutely.
Um, but yeah, I'm sorry, Sean. That just was.
No, no, you're fine. Trust me, you're fine. You're fine. You're fine.
Yes,
No, I
but
I love
yeah,
this conversation.
yes, me too. I definitely want to just jump back in though. Like, by now, I feel like people are like, Ashley, you go left, but you come right back. Okay, we love you. Um, Listen, at least we here. So I
Yes.
just want to go into now your podcast, because I feel like, I mean, do you still do music even today, right?
I still do music, but not as much as I used to do it because I kind of had
Okay,
put my podcast a little bit more further, and I wanted that to be, my number one, because
gotcha.
when I first, when that creativity happened, that was just like a wow moment for me, and it happened when the pandemic happened, when everything just stopped in the world. And I said to myself, okay, what do I do now? No performance,
Yeah.
I was still writing throughout the whole pandemic, but,
Yeah.
studios were shut down, and I asked God, okay, what next? Can you show me what else do I have in me that I can actually share with the world and make something good of? And that's when he
Mm.
said, hey, listen, you have an awesome voice. A lot of people always told you that. Why not try a podcast? And I said, wow, okay. Let me, let me,
Yeah, like, that's different.
yeah, it's different. And
Mm.
to this day, I remember, March of 2020, I said, let me record my first episode. And my first episode was basically telling the world of what's going on, what to look out
Hmm.
for, what, the times that we're in right now. to hold on to your families, hold on to your friends, look out, call
Yeah.
each other. And it was just an emotional time because no one knew exactly what it was. No one knew exactly what was going on. No one knew exactly what was
Mm,
going to happen. And the episodes that I did throughout 2020 and then 3 years later now, which is amazing, right? I
yes.
turned that platform into a platform where I just invited just beautiful people just to come on, share your story. No subjects is off limit. Let's talk. Whatever you're going
Hmm.
through. If you're an artist, talk about your music, talk about your album. If you're a writer, talk
Hmm.
about that, book. And I feel so blessed because again, I didn't know I had such a creativity to create such a platform, right? And kudos to your platform as well. And I said, wow, I feel blessed, and I thank God each and every day. And I think it's a platform that I will never like end, even if I do that 2, 3 episodes, every so often, I think I'm still
Yeah.
going to have that around because it's something that I started, from the ground up. God said, hey, create t-shirts, create masses around that time era. And I love
Right.
my shirts, and
Yeah. I haven't
yeah,
seen one actually.
no, yeah, I think I have them on my page, yeah, my Facebook page,
I'll
yeah,
check it out.
yeah.
Right.
And
Yeah.
I want to, definitely do more, with that platform. I think it can actually go further. I haven't
Yeah.
really dug yet into that creative process to do that, but I'm sure that I have it inside of me
Yes.
because God said, okay, you came 3 seasons. I don't think it's going to end here. I think we can go 3 more. I think we can go forever, maybe.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
but he says to me, and I hear him, you have more to this project that you did 3 years ago. So
Yeah.
I continue to believe that, and I'm just going to go with that.
Yeah. That's and the fact that you started it at the peak of the quarantine, like
Yeah.
you probably helped, not even probably, I'm sure you helped a lot of people that you don't even know, like that don't even
No.
come out and say like, "Hey, Sean, like your show
Right.
helped me tremendously during this time." Because I mean, like everybody was just in a state of shock. Like everybody was just
Yes.
like, "What?" Like
Yes.
nothing that we ever experienced, and I know that like the mental health was top priority, and
Oh,
you know
absolutely.
the people that were like, we're all staying at home probably with people that we really, and it's sad to say that, but like, you feel like you live with family, right? But then y'all are all home, and
Right.
now there's certain things coming up, and it was stressful. And
It
a lot of
was.
the times people don't have somebody to talk to, and it's like, oh,
Right.
let me listen to podcasts, or even, hey, if you so happen to be the lucky one that's on Sean's show, like I could say,
Right.
I could tell my truth, tell you my
Uh,
story. So that's the beautiful thing about it. And yeah,
okay.
I just have all the respect for you, and just starting it at that time, because
Thank you.
we were all going through it. But how do you feel like 3 years later? Like, I mean, you have so much to do, but like, is it just like you just started for the first time all over again 3 years later? Like, is it that same excitement that you look forward to?
It surely is. Every episode, and every, shout out to all my guests that, and including yourself, that was a part of this journey. And I appreciate everyone, for giving me that chance,
Yeah.
and, again, it's like, and it goes to what you just said. It's definitely from the beginning again. It's something that I tried out, something that I'm loving, and it's turned out amazing. And
Hmm.
yeah, it's a lot of excitement. Every episode I always look forward to, and always try to make the best of it, and have show my guests the best experience that they can have on a podcast. And
Hmm.
yeah, I love it. I love it.
Yeah, I could tell because when you're on there, um, I, every time I see you, you're just like smiling. You're in a good mood. Like it's just like, does Sean ever get sad? Like, does he ever get upset? I don't know. Like, I'm sure you do, obviously, but it's just like
Yeah, I do.
whenever wherever you're in that like podcast space at least, like I know for a fact that like you're going to show up and you're going to be happy. Like
Yes.
it doesn't matter. So
No, no, yeah. Thank you for that.
I know that it's like definitely a passion of yours, and I can't wait to see where you take it because it's really like podcasting could be so like everybody has a podcast these days, but
Right.
I feel like what really makes it unique is yourself. Obviously,
Yeah. Oh,
there's no
absolutely.
other Sean that I can't even name a person who does all you do. And like, I mean, it doesn't like you know what I'm saying? Like you're one of one. So there could be like a very similar Love Man's radio podcast, but there's only one
It's
of
only
that.
one.
So
No, I appreciate
yeah,
that.
it's only one. So
Appreciate that.
I wanna know too, like what like I know you have a lot of guests on there, and you listen to their stories obviously. So
Right.
has there been a time where I guess even not in just one, but all of them, have they influenced your journey like in any way or like maybe taught you something that you're like, oh, I gotta probably incorporate that into my
Yeah.
life or
No, absolutely. And
hmm,
there's, I've had a lot of guesses, when, it's been so many different stories. And it's crazy because just having that conversation with a person and hearing exactly what they're going through or something that they're went through, it's just amazing. A conversation goes
hmm,
so many different directions, right? And
hmm,
shout out to Naisha, on Master Covered Me, her book,
yes,
amazing
yes,
book, right?
yes,
And
yes,
yeah, yes, her story is just absolutely amazing. And I remember her first episode, where she took that mask off, right? And I said, wow,
mm,
my God, like
yeah,
just absolutely like stunning. I don't know how many times I
yeah,
watched that one episode, right? So
yes,
that's like an example of a big example that I took in, from her journey to what I'm doing
mm,
now of just, unmasking moments, and it's just amazing how transformation, in different eras of your life that you can actually go through. I don't think I was, ever was canon with this before, but just to cut the subject for a moment,
mm,
back in 2016, I connected with my dad for the first time in 30 years, right? And he found me on Facebook and he says,
I'm sorry, you
okay,
froze, you froze.
okay.
I heard, all I heard was on Facebook.
Okay, so I just wanted to share something. So back in 2016, for the first time in 30 years, I connected with my dad, right? And he found my
Mhm.
Facebook page and he says, hey, son, this is me. This is your dad. Can you give me a chance? I said, wow, what? So, I thought it was a scam or something. I looked at this picture. I said, yeah, okay. I wrote him back and we connected, right? And I came down with my wife. We went to vacation. We love to vacation every year, right? Um,
Mhm.
and we went down to South Beach, Miami, which we were staying, and then we met. And just in those few days with him was just like amazing, right? First time in 30 years, like wow, right?
Yeah.
And later on in that year into 2017, we always planned to actually go back down, and I wanted to see him again, have some fun. And in 2018, I got the call one day. I was on lunch. Says, "Hey, got a call from his sister," and it was so funny because we used to text every day. Hey, what's up? What's going on? And it was just texting just stopped. I said, okay, maybe he's busy. Got the call and
Mm.
said, he passed away. I said, wow. So I'm like, wow. Is
Oh,
I'm
wow.
like, are you serious right now? So in all of these years that has been going on, I've lost so many people that was so close to me. And, life is short, and it's one of the things where um, you just have to kind of just enjoy life, enjoy that moment. You just never know, you know, what's going to happen,
Mhm.
And another real dear person that I was close to was my mother-in-law. She passed in 2017. Uh,
Mm.
so over the years, I've learned,
Wow.
don't matter what you're doing, believe in yourself. If you want to, if you get that voice and saying, hey, I want to do this today, don't put it off, just do it,
Yeah. Yeah.
and kind of just,
Wow.
stay positive, don't matter what's going on, and I think
Mm.
we're so blessed and so lucky to be here 3 years later after this thing, that was just around us.
Right.
And
Right.
whatever it was, COVID, whatever it was, I'm just blessed to still be here with, my wife, my family. I'm blessed to be
Mm.
here talking to you on this beautiful
Yeah.
platform.
Y-
So
Yeah.
we just have to be, really inspired by our own spirituality of what it tells us to do, what it tells us to think, and kind of just go
Mm.
out of our minds sometimes with that growth that we have
Yeah.
inside. Yeah, I didn't mean to get that
Thank
deep. I'm sorry.
no. Okay, this is what we're going to establish right now for anybody that's on this platform. I don't care how deep you get. I love the deep.
Yeah.
Listen,
Okay.
we in the deep all day.
Yes.
But
Yes.
I was gonna say thank you. Really, thank you for sharing that because you were really open, honest, and transparent in this moment. And you listen, by all means, you could have kept that to yourself. But that hit me hard because I'm like, what? Like to know that hey, you reconnected with your father, and then shortly after he's gone. Like
Yeah.
I would have been, my heart would have been on the floor. I would have been on the floor going crazy. Okay, like listen, but that speaks a lot about what you said. It's like life is short, you never know, but at least the time that you had right with
Hmm.
him is still forever cherished. It's forever,
Yes.
imprinted in your mind. Like, okay, well, at least I got that time. Because imagine if you
Yes.
didn't,
Oh man. Yeah.
because that is the hardest. Because we feel like um sometimes we have forever. I remember when I was a kid, and I'm like, I felt like I had forever. Like
Yeah.
I felt like we were gonna have summer breaks for school forever. We was gonna have Christmas
I'm
forever.
telling
It's
you.
gonna be the same. But now, as you get older, obviously, it's like things are so different, and you just know that you have to make a move, and it's so
Yeah.
important to what to I can see how that even those experiences with your dad and your mother-in-law um just catapulted you to do the things that you
Uh,
do now. I'm gonna make the step, and I'm gonna just take it. And I know that I may not live to see tomorrow, but you know
right.
what I could do today is do it exactly what I feel like doing, like I felt called to do, and say, hey, you know what, at least I tried.
Yeah.
And then if it doesn't work out, it is what it is.
Yeah, absolutely.
Because I'm sure you hear all the time, it's like people say like I don't want to live with regrets, or I shoulda, coulda, wouldas, and
Right.
all those things. Because by the time you do get to our older age, all we can do is look back
Yeah,
and
right.
say those
Absolutely.
things, and for me, and it's God is working on this episode. I don't know what's
Yeah,
going on.
yes,
Okay,
he
so
is. Yes, he is. Yeah.
so yeah, by me turning 30 years old on Wednesday, this whole thing is just speaking to me right now.
Yes.
So like I'm just blessed to even be having this conversation. I'm gonna put this all in my journal. I'm not even going to divulge it to you right now. We can talk offline, but
Right.
just know God is doing a new thing right now. But I definitely appreciate that story. Because I feel like all of us need that reminder. Like
Yeah, absolutely.
whatever it is on your heart. You know, you need to start that writing that book. You know, you need to start that podcast. You need to sign up for an audition. Whatever it is,
Mm-hmm.
go and do it. Do not wait another day, a minute, a second. Like go and do it. Actually,
Absolutely.
pause the whole episode right now, get to it, and then come back.
Yeah,
Because
right.
what, like, do not wait, because your this moment could be your moment. Like this
Yeah,
moment could
absolutely.
be the moment. So, like, that's why there's no holding back
Right.
anymore, Sean. Not for the both of
No,
us. No more hold back.
no,
We
no
we just
more.
we just out here. We just
Yeah,
out here.
that's it. That's it.
For real. But no, thank you so much for sharing that. That really means a
You,
lot.
you're welcome. You're
That means a
welcome.
lot. Is there anything that you want to do next, like in your, well, besides the podcast, but like
Right.
anything new that you want to like explore in your journey?
Well, it's that's a great question. I feel and I saw, I should say, that I have two more documentaries that I want to do. Um,
Mm-hmm.
and one of them would be like a mystery, and then the other one would be like a love story.
Got it. Wow.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
like, okay, a mystery is like, well, no, horror and mystery are two different things, right?
right, yeah. So,
Okay, because I can't do horror movies,
right.
but I got you. Sorry,
No, you're good. You're
but
good.
yeah, because I can see. First of all, I'm still stuck on the Room 13 too.
Oh
I meant to
yeah.
ask you that question. I forgot to ask you.
Hmm.
Room 13. Why Room 13? Like, what does
I
that mean?
Yeah. So basically, the title itself, Room 13, it's the room where everything will unfold, and the number 13 was actually where when those two people actually went into that hotel or motel, that's the actual 13 uh room where you should not have actually had entered, because everything that
Mm,
you thought that was actually that you were doing right, sneaking behind, spouse's back, not to give the whole story away. Room 13 is actually the room you don't want to enter because it will unfold all there. So
hmm.
yeah, I kind of
See,
I'm gonna leave it right there.
I got you. I got you. No, because I'm big into numbers, right? So
Yes,
when I
yes.
when I see 13, okay, I'm thinking 3, 1, 4, right? 4 is
Right.
the foundation of something, right? It's the base.
Mm-hmm.
So in this room, it seems like the foundation is being broke.
Yeah.
I'm gonna stop right there because
Yeah.
yeah, the foundation is being broke. Okay,
Yes.
got it, got it. Okay, I don't know if you did it. Did you do that on purpose?
No, no.
Oh my gosh, not me going too deep now. Okay, so yeah, that's where I'm gonna leave that there. Okay, I'm gonna
Yes.
have to catch that. But the mystery and the romance. Okay, we do you know like well you haven't produced it yet. This is something that's
No,
brand new.
no,
Okay,
no. Yeah, have not produced
got
it
it.
yet, but I do have a thought process for both, similar projects. One of the projects I actually have, some names for characters, that's actually the mystery one. So
Got
yeah,
you.
yeah, definitely looking forward to that.
Mm,
Yes,
we're gonna wrap up this portion of the interview. I'm gonna jump
yes.
into two segments. My guests have been very they've been doing well with these segments, especially the empowerment EP segment that we're gonna roll into now. So I have no music. We're gonna change that one day. But the Empowerment MP segment is really where you share three songs that have been a source of inspiration and strength for you along your journey, very currently. So, like, what are those three songs that are a source of strength and inspiration for you
Wow, that is actually really a great question. Yes. Okay. So I want to say one song that I can actually say, and it's very special. You know, it's called "Without Your Love," right? I think when I wrote that song, it was actually in the pandemic era, and it's one of those songs where you listen to, and without love, where are we? What do we do?
Yeah,
Love takes us through so many roller coasters, so many challenges, even, relationships, not easy, right? So
right.
that song, Without Your Love, um, it really blends your heart in so many different ways, and
Mm,
I think that's actually one of the songs that I can say that really takes the cake, as we say,
mm,
um,
got
in,
you.
in, in, in where I'm at right now, that I wrote. Um,
Mm,
Second song, would be, I want to say, it's called I'm So Lucky, right? It's actually a song off one of my quote unquote Love Man's album. And
okay.
it was actually one of the albums dedicated actually to my wife. I did a whole album dedicated to her, right? Uh,
Well, I'm a lover girl, so like that makes my heart jump. Like, I'm sorry. Go ahead.
no, you're good. You're good. um, that song just epitomized, that you're so lucky in this moment to have what you have, and
Yeah.
and you're blessed, and a lot of times we don't really see or have these times or moments that we can actually say, yes, this is what I have. This is I'm blessed. So I want to say I'm so lucky. Is another great song that I can say that I can put out as like my number two.
Mm, okay.
Uh yeah, number three. Number three would be, I want to say, it's actually a song based on everything that I think I was basically, going through at a certain time. This song is just, everything sometimes that you go through, you don't think that you're going to make it through. You
Mm,
don't think that you're going to get through this moment in time. um
mm,
and when I wrote this song, I said, wow, even if it's not for me, I think somebody needs to hear it, and somebody
yeah.
needs to kind of just feel, you know the love that you're trying to give out to yourself, and not
Mm,
to give up, in that moment, and
yeah.
it's just called,
Wow.
Love Yourself, um,
Oh, of course.
yeah.
Wow, that's
So yeah,
beautiful. It's
yeah, thank
are
you.
these songs on like Spotify or anything like that?
Yes, yes, absolutely. I have Loveman number one on SoundCloud, and you can also find me on Spotify and RiverNation.com, under the Loveman, for those songs that I just mentioned.
Sure. Yeah, as I always say to everybody, I'm collecting all y'all songs and I'm going to put it on a playlist. And the playlist is already, it's pretty much public, but I haven't really posted it.
Okay.
I'm sure by the time your episode is out, I will have posted it. But now I can add your songs on there and we can
Yes,
have
absolutely. Thank
everybody
you.
listen. So
Thank
I
you.
love the behind like the background stories of your songs because they really, well, to me they mean a lot because I, like I said, I'm a lover girl and I just love. And it doesn't
Yes.
have to be like romantic love, right? Because love could be like family, friends,
Oh,
platonic
absolutely.
love, of any kind. Self love, like you mentioned, love yourself. That's what really makes the world go round, not money, y'all.
Right.
Don't be sitting here on this podcast talking about money to make the world go round. That's not
Right.
it. It's love, okay? That we got the love man on, and the
That's
love
it.
makes it go round. Okay, so that like that to me is like the most important message in any song, and I feel like that's the thing that really touches the heart and the soul of a person. Like, yeah, I mean, you can listen to all those songs about getting money and getting to the bag, but like
Right, right.
it's okay, but that's very temporary. I need something that's going to fill me up, and
Mm-hmm.
that's not love.
It's
So
a love. Can't go wrong
yeah,
with some love.
no, no. But yeah, I can't wait to. I haven't listened to any of these songs, so I will
Okay.
definitely be excited to pull them up and listen to them for
Absolutely.
sure.
Thank you.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you for
I
sharing your
think
song.
we froze. I
Am
think
I
we're
back?
frozen a little bit. Okay. You're back now.
Okay, okay.
Yeah.
So we're gonna jump right into our second segment called "Shine a Light on Them." And
Okay.
so pretty so pretty much I'm giving you the space to shout out a person or a couple people that you want to show gratitude today for just just give them a little love as
Yeah.
what we're talking about. So you're up.
Absolutely. Absolutely. So, you know, I want to shout out to my wife, again. She is, really a great and one of my biggest supporters of everything that I do. And I think when I hear her praises from that performance or from that song, it just it inspires me to, do more and more and more and
Yeah.
more. So shout out to her for always just having my back, with anything. If it, listening to that track as soon as it came out the studio,
Mm,
she tells me, her honest opinion. Hey, oh yeah, I'm feeling this song. Oh, this one could have been this, So sometimes you got to take, when a person is really, telling you something, you have to listen to them. Words mean a lot, and actions mean a lot too. So shout out to her for always having, my back and being honest with me.
yeah.
um you know again, today, I want to shout out to all my fans. That's always been supportive of my music, all my performances around, every city that I went. If you play that song in your car, you play that podcast episode in your car,
Yeah.
in your radio, I just want to say thank you for believing in me. Thank you for, listening to me. There's so many other artists and shows that you could have actually listened to on that specific moment, but you chose mine. So I just want to shout out to all my fans out there. That's always been, rocking with me from day one, or if you just started to rock with me, kudos to you too.
Yeah. Yes. That is good. I am so happy that you have come here to the Your Divine Glow
Yes,
podcast. It's been an
yes,
amazing, amazing time, and
it has.
I definitely look forward. Like I said before in the episode, like what you do next, because I mean, if we could slap your resume
Boom.
on the
Woo.
screen, like
Right.
I think it'd be like 15, 20 pages right now, like something like it, because I'm like, what is going on?
Yeah.
But for real, like you definitely inspire me, or you're definitely one of those people that like you give me hope that that I can believe in myself, that I can do what I'm set to do and called to do. And that's the thing about this space is that even with your podcast too, in your space, it's like we're here to encourage, inspire, and promote
Abs-
love and promote like just the
absolutely.
goodness of the world. And so I'm just happy that I found another person in that space.
Thank
And like I
you.
always say, it's like you know there's times that we like certain people align for a reason. And listen,
Absolutely.
I had no idea who. No offense, Sean. I had no idea who you were. If it wasn't for Naisha, Naisha had to be the vessel. I was like, who?
Yeah.
But listen, it just worked. And that's why
It
I
does.
love God so much, because he's gonna work through people. He's like, listen, I need you to link up with that person and that
Yep.
person,
Yeah.
and
Let's network.
you just never know who you
You never
meet. And I
know.
just meet amazing people like you that just like really just set the tone and like get me going personally. So I just want to thank you again, and yeah, thank you for being you. Thank you for being you. But before we go, do you have any advice for our audience today?
You know what? I just want to tell everyone, continue with your dreams, right? And continue to listen to your inner being, because you just never know exactly what that inner being is telling you at that moment, and I just want to share too, there's like three major ways that spiritual things or transform, and number one, it's words, right? Words are so powerful,
Yeah.
and you just have to be careful, whomever has your ear will
Hmm.
eventually influence your heart and mind. So that's very, important to look out for, in spiritual, things. And association is also another one. Be careful of who you're around at times. Not everyone is for you, So just kind of keep those three things in mind and continue to be yourself, continue to love yourself. Because if you don't love
Hmm.
yourself, how the hell somebody
Are you gonna love somebody else? Come
right,
on.
right.
Come on now. You better
Yes.
pray.
So yes.
Listen, you
So
might as well add preacher to your list, okay?
yeah, but I hope everyone enjoyed our show today. This is just an amazing time for me. Thank you so much for having me.
Thank you.
Your platform is amazing, and I'm just so blessed that you listened to your thoughts and you took that journey,
Yes,
because talking to you, on our episode, you've been through some things too, and you came out and you shined. That's why I love
yeah,
your title. The title fits
yeah,
everything perfectly for your journey. So shout out to you.
yeah. Thank you so much. Thank you. It
Hmm.
listen, nothing but God. Nothing but God, I'm tell you that
Nothing
much.
but God.
There's
Nothing but
nothing
God.
but God.
Yep. Yep.
But
Nothing but God.
yes, thank you so much. I am going to wrap this up, y'all. Thank you so
Yes.
much for tuning in to today's episode. I hope you enjoyed it as much as we did. Now, as I always say, just live your life and continue to
That's
let your divine glow shine, babies. I will catch
that's
y'all
right,
in the
baby.
next episode. Bye.
Bye bye.